Hello, it is me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers, and we're about to look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others and our external environment. And if we want to see change, we do need to shift and change the energy within us. If you have not yet checked it out, you really should go check out the Creator Nero Knowledge. I'm going to try to remember to put a link below, but he just explains manifestation content really well. And if you're interested in that type of content, I just highly recommend him. Plus, he's amusing. He's fun to watch. And he's literally like 23. And I'm like, how are you laying down all these truths at that age? That's crazy. Also, don't forget tonight, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Wednesday night. I will be doing the discussion group on the Egyptian Book of the Dead. It's a sacred text discussion group. And you don't have to have read the book to come to the group. You can find this book online. You can also probably get it from your library if you're a physical book kind of person, which I am. But yeah, come and join us. We talk about metaphysical concepts. We talk about what we're learning from this particular text and, pull from our wisdom from other things we've learned. And it's just a fun little hangout, about 1.5 to 2 hours, depending on how long everybody feels up to it and energetic. But that's happening tonight. It is a Zoom call. You can click the link in my profile and you'll see the little Egyptian picture. Click that link and that will take you to the Zoom call, which will be happening later tonight. You will also see a link to be able to pre-save my EP, which is being released, oh my gosh, really soon, on September 6th. And I'm excited for you to hear the entire record. I think that you will be very pleased. And also, it's kind of nice to have more than just one single or two singles to listen to. Now you get 5 total once those 2 that you haven't heard are released. All right. And please also, if you want a private reading, click the link in the profile, subscribe and share and do all the things, to support me. Thank you for everybody who does those things. Thank you for my members and subscribers, particularly my members at passes.com/pearlsprayers. I have some extended content over there that's available for subscribers. You can also DM me directly and I prioritize those DMs over there. You can literally ask me questions and I will pull 1 or 2 cards for you to answer them in those DMs when you are at the subscriber, at the prayer circle level. So take advantage of that if you're interested. Okay, we're doing a Tell Me Everything today. This is a spread that I designed to help you get a sense of what's going on with the person that you might be focused on, with the underhanded intention that you actually figure out what's going on within you. So this sounds like the voice of your person, or sometimes you speaking to your person. And if you listen to it the first time as if your person is speaking to you, it is very helpful to get some insight about your connection with that person. But it's even more helpful to listen to it a second time as if you are speaking to some part of yourself. Some part of yourself that maybe you're less in touch with. And that is where the most profound healing comes from. So I highly recommend listening to it that way. Okay, let's begin. Tell me everything. How does divine masculine think and feel right now about the connection with the divine feminine? We have the 5 of Pentacles here. And the divine masculine right now would be thinking and feeling that, you have abandoned me, but only because I left you out in the cold. And I did that for too long. And because of that, you have no interest in me. You've left me. You've abandoned me. How does the divine feminine think and feel about this connection? We've got the 6 of Swords here. And what the divine feminine would say is, I've had to balance my energy within myself. And as I sought balance in my life and tried to become more stable, I have had to move on from the way the dynamic was in our connection. I learned a lot from the interactions that we've had. But your lack of stability forced me to create my own stability. And I'm thankful for that. I feel grateful for that, because as I move on into this next place in my life, I'm taking everything that I've learned with me and benefiting from it. I'm going from a connection that was really painful a lot. And now knowing that I won't ever embody that type of a connection again, because I've learned from this one. But yes, I am moving on from you. I'm moving on from the way that our connection has expressed over the years. And I'm not looking back. I'm not really looking back. I'm only looking forward. If I do look back, it's to revise what has happened and to choose a different path, a different way in this new life where I now experience balanced masculine energy, healed masculine energy, no longer wounded, unstable energy, but balanced and healed energy is my goal. Something that the divine masculine is hiding from the divine feminine, we have the King of Swords. I'm completely cut myself off from my emotions. I'm just being very pragmatic, very practical, very realistic, and just planning and strategizing, focusing on work, moving pieces on a chessboard. And I have to do this because I feel like if I don't command my emotions will command me. I'm also hiding from you that I feel like you've done this. Like you're very cold. Like you're very unfeeling. Maybe even strategic. And I feel like I might deserve that treatment. I understand it to be a reflection of how I've been treating you. But I'm very detached. I'm very detached from you. I'm very detached from this connection, and I'm having to do that. I'm having to cut myself off from my feelings. Divine feminine, what are you hiding from the divine masculine? You waited too long. There's nothing left here to harvest. There was a bountiful garden that I was tending to for a long time. And I recognize now that I was putting in more time, effort, and energy into tending this connection between us than I was into tending my own life as a whole. So I've had to leave this behind and forfeit the potential fruits that were there between us. Primarily because you weren't participating. You weren't tending to them. And now when you've come to harvest them, there's really nothing left to salvage. We would have to start again. You would have to pick up the seeds from the rotten fruit that have fallen to the ground, and you would have to replant a garden and tend to it. I'm no longer doing that. You're on your own. In both instances in these cards, you're on your own. Like, I wish you the best, but you're on your own. Divine masculine, what do you seek forgiveness for in this connection? We have here this Knight of Cups energy. I'm sorry that I have been very wishy-washy with you, that I let myself get swept away by my emotions and perhaps expressed feelings that I had without being able to back those feelings up with action. At times I was closed off to receiving your love and looking in another direction instead of at you, where I should have known that I could find really that true love and connection. And I'm sorry that I have done that. Divine feminine, what do you seek forgiveness for? I'm sorry that I am no longer making any kind of an offer to you. I basically can't stand it anymore. Just like looking at you sitting there doing nothing, refusing to see what I have to offer. And I can't stand that. So I am not going to be offering you anything again. If you choose to offer me something to consider, I would certainly consider it, but you've missed one too many opportunities with me. And I'm sorry that you might be hurt or wounded or sad or depressed because I have nothing left to give you, but I just have nothing left to give you. Divine Masculine, what do you want to say about the current energy of this connection? We have the Lover's card here, and Divine Masculine would just be, he just really simply would say, just, I love you. But I'm afraid. Look at the interesting, like, body language here. We've also got, like, Adam and Eve energy, this angel that is coming towards them. It's weird. It looks like they're kind of afraid. And this is kind of the moment for me when they're being cast out of the garden because they've eaten of the fruit. There's the snake there. I'm afraid that I have done too much damage to our connection, that in having other connections, other romantic interests, pursuing other passions and not prioritizing this connection, that I have been cast out forever from your heart. And it's unfortunate because I really do love you. I just have a fear of the feelings that I've had. Divine Feminine, what would you say right now? There's nothing left to salvage here. It's all crumbled and fallen apart. And I let it go. I've let it go. I've let it go. Divine Masculine, what do you want from Divine Feminine? We have here the Three of Cups. I want to reunite. I want to celebrate. I want to have fun and be able to have a good time with you. I want to have harmony between us. I want you to know that you have my love more than others. That when it comes down to it, it's just you. The card that is just coming to mind right now is the Three of Cups that's in the Vice Versa Tarot. If you've ever seen that deck, the front has like a normal image that's similar to the Smith Rider Waite, and the back has like the back of the image. And the interesting thing about the Three of Cups is that when you see the front, you see three individuals, three feminine energies, and then when you flip it around, there's three cups, but only one feminine energy holding the cup, and that card is coming to mind right now. So the Divine Masculine is saying, I want you to know that, there may have been others, but no one compares to you. And I just want to reunite with you and celebrate and have fun. And I also want your forgiveness for even trying to, create something with others when there was no point in doing that. I also want to know if you have other interests. I want to know if you're dating. I want to know if you're seeing other people. Divine Feminine, what do you want from Divine Masculine? I want you to take a good hard look at what you missed out on. I want you to admit to yourself that you know who the fuck I am. That I am an Empress. And I want you to know that an Empress does not chase. An Empress is absolutely in a knowing of her abundance, of her prosperity, of everything she has to offer. She does not even need reality to confirm that, to know that. It's just deep within her. 11:55 when I'm saying this. I want you to know who the fuck I am. And realize what the fuck you've lost. Divine Masculine, what do you long for? the harmony that was in the Three of Cups. This is the Ten of Cups. I long to have this dream of our lives realized. I long to have this spiritual fulfillment, this joy and this bliss that a connection with you promises. I long to win. You know, I feel like I'm a loser and I long to be a winner. And I long to do that together, to win together, and to be triumphant and just happy. Divine Feminine, what do you long for? We have here the Seven of Wands and the King of Pentacles. I long for you to believe in yourself, have the conviction that you are worthy and valuable, and that you are a protector and a provider, that you are a good person, that your reputation would precede you if you would fight the urge to sabotage yourself that's coming in the Seven of Wands. In the Seven of Wands, we see the Six of Wands, which is a sign of victory and success. It looks like there's a battle to be fought, but when you see different versions of this card, you recognize that there's no one holding these wands. There's no one blocking this individual's success except for himself. I long for you to put aside anyone else's opinions or ideas about who you are or how you should be or how you should live, and have the conviction of your beliefs in this connection and stand up and fight for what you know is true. Divine Masculine, what do you long to tell Divine Feminine? I love you. I long to tell you that I love you, that I want to have this new love with you, that I have learned to fill my cup, that I have found peace, and that I know now that that was my job to do that I needed to fill my own cup to be able to come to you. I long to be able to tell you that I've done that. I long to be able to tell you that there's enough here for me to share this love with you. Divine Feminine, what do you long to tell Divine Masculine? We have the Three of Pentacles. I long to see everything I've worked to build with you actually take shape or form in the third dimension. Not just to be in the Ten of Cups, not just to be ethereal, a fantasy in the Four of Cups, but to be real. I long to work with you, not against you and not for you, but with you, to collaborate, to be a team, to build that tower back up that has crumbled to the ground because you let it fall. Divine Masculine, what do you need right now? I need to be I need to be able to express my feelings. I need to have mastery over the fear and anxiety I have about going deeply into my emotions. There is a part of me that fears that if I allow my emotions to come up, to be felt, to surface, that I will drown. And I really long to understand that I do have the power to navigate my emotions, to swim in them, to float in them, to actually feel cradled and held by them, which is what the water does when you can relax and float upon it, rather than having to put something between you, this boat here, to put the material physical world between you and your emotions. I long to know that it's safe for me to experience these deep feelings, that I can have mastery over their expression. So that's what I need. Divine Feminine, what do you need right now? I need to have faith that this long period of silence that I have endured in this desert, that promise I'm seeing here is not a mirage, is not an illusion. I have to have faith that the time that we've been in no communication, that we have healed, and that we will be able to recover from the grief that has been in our lives, and that we will be able to speak and talk again. I need to break the silence. I need you to break the silence and actually speak to me. Divine Masculine, what do you seek to give Divine Feminine? I seek to give you an understanding of my perspective. I seek to explain how I have been looking at things, how I have been perceiving this reality between us. And I seek to put an end to this limbo, this period of just being in suspense, but never actually having a fulfillment. That's what I seek to give you. Divine Feminine, what do you seek to give the Divine Masculine? I told you that I'm hiding from you that there's nothing left to harvest. But what I seek to give you is something tangible that you can plant so that we can grow that garden back to its former beauty, so that we can tend it. But I seek to give you this seed to plant and water and grow together with this 3 of Pentacles energy that I told you I long to tell you. But I do seek to give you something material that can grow into something meaningful and powerful in the future. And I do seek to consider whatever you bring to me and value it, no matter how small of a gesture, because I understand how difficult it is for you to break the silence. I understand how difficult it is to approach an empress when you don't feel like an emperor and you don't feel like you have that stability and that ability to express your emotions. I understand how difficult it is, so I seek to value whatever small gesture, small material gesture though. It can't be an indirect expression. It can't be sidestepping. It has to be a direct, tangible thing. But when you give me a direct and tangible thing to consider, I promise you I will value it no matter how small. Divine Masculine, what do you hope for this connection? I hope that you will forgive me and that you will not judge me too harshly. I hope that we will be able to reconcile. I hope that we can resurrect this connection that I feel responsible for having let die. Divine Feminine, what do you hope for this connection? I truly hope that this standstill will be brought to an end, that the fear that is causing you to not be able to make some kind of a decision or choice will finally be overcome, that you will make a choice, and that we will be able to choose a path together rather than me having to choose to go on my own. I hope that I won't have to make that hard choice myself. I hope that you will make the better choice for us to be able to communicate and sort things out between us, and that I won't have to choose to go down a path alone again, which I will do because I can do it. But I hope that you won't make me make that choice. Divine Masculine, what do you promise to do about the connection? We have the Page of Swords here. I do promise to be brave. I do promise to communicate with you, even though I don't know what to say. I have less experience with talking about my feelings than most, but I promise you that I will do it and that I will do my very best. I also promise to stop just watching you. I have now experienced you just watching me with that emotional detachment that I was hiding from you. I've experienced that from you. And I promise that I will not do this anymore. I will not just watch you without speaking. Divine Feminine, what do you promise to do about this connection? I promise that I will continue to heal and to hope, and to turn that hope into a belief, and to turn that belief into a knowing. Once I truly know that you are healed, that you do hope and wish and for this connection to actually be something that is occurring in the physical, I know that's when it will happen. Divine Masculine, what are you thankful for in this connection? This Two of Swords. I'm thankful for the time that I've had to go within and understand why I had a difficult time making choices or decisions in my life. This time that I have been allowed to just be on my own and look at my thoughts and recognize why it's been so difficult for me to choose. This connection has really taught me everything I need to know about that. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for this peace that you've given me. I know it hasn't been easy. I know it hasn't been simple for you to just let me choose and make up my mind, but it has helped me to feel that even when I'm uncertain, that someone else's believing that I can find certainty has opened me up to my own ability to choose wisely. Divine Feminine, what are you thankful for? I'm thankful that I have learned that the way that I felt initially and thought initially about this connection was codependent. It was obsessive. It was fixated. And that I had convinced myself that somehow that energy would translate into love and stability. And I'm very thankful that it hasn't turned into anything before I was able to overcome these fears. But I'm thankful now to understand the bondage that I was really in and how I incorrectly, not correctly, felt that this relationship between us was somehow going to get rid of these feelings I had that I were uncomfortable feelings for me towards myself, towards the world, towards reality. This relationship, this connection has taught me that my fears, where they come from, that they have this control over me, that they're the most dangerous thing actually in life is just really fear itself. This connection has really taught me that. And to also not be afraid in the silence. To be able to feel confident and certainty even when there is no evidence for me to do so, because that is a skill that allows me to shift my reality every day, and I'm very thankful for that. All right, so what would the Divine Masculine say to the Divine Feminine right now? We have the Four of Pentacles. I have lost my agility because I became consumed by the fear of failing to keep the quick moving energy stable. But in trying to restrict that energy, I also restricted myself. I have needed to examine how control or my need for it impacts this relationship between us. I have been holding on to something so tightly that there is no room for growth. I haven't been able to let go of some of the tasks between us. I've been unwilling to relinquish control or to hire any kind of a help. And this has caused stagnation and less productivity for us in this connection. The question that I have to ask myself is, am I saving or investing? One thing grows and the other stays the same. I do feel that there is abundance here, and I'm calling on myself to not restrict it, to let it run free. I'm releasing myself to do what is best, to be nimble and clever. And I am trying to be in harmony, to bring about a positive shift and a bountiful harvest. Okay. We love to hear it. Divine Feminine, what would you say to the Divine Masculine right now? We have the Five of Wands. You all right, Bowie? You're struggling a little bit over there. My days have been spent putting out fires, dealing with things that seem to have popped out of nowhere. And just as I thought that I have everything done, something else has arisen to steal me away. I have been experiencing days that leave me feeling as though every person I encounter has a different opinion and no one can seem to agree. There's been drama due to petty debates, demands, or life. It's time for me to look on the bright side, to understand that this has been an excellent opportunity to get outside perspective and slow down. I have worked tirelessly to create a home while contending with the rough waters that always assail that home. And I have felt I was at the mercy of something so overpowering and uncontrollable. Yet at the same time, I have remained unfettered and focused on staying on task. I know now that I'm a wise master builder, that I can offer wisdom in the constructing of boundaries that will ensure that we stay on the right path. I may need to slow down a bit, practice a little restraint, and not let every impulse or desire to act break through. That's what Divine Feminine would say right now. And let us get the final pieces of advice. For the masculine energy, we have here the Observer, number 49. Sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. So it's interesting because that's giving the promise the Divine Masculine made here with this Page of Swords energy. You could easily have said that he's being curious, because this is a card of curiosity. How is it phrased? Oh, cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. So this is what he is thankful for about the connection, that it has given him this awareness of how effective it is to just observe yourself and others and the landscape, and then act once you have an inspired action that comes from the right frequency, right? Divine Feminine, you have the the Loyal Heart card, which we keep getting. This card is coming up a lot. Number 35. Your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return? Now is the time for heartfelt commitment and trusting in divine protection. So remember, if you're seeking that from someone else, are you giving that to yourself? Do you have heartfelt commitment towards the desires of your heart, the things that you want to create, the passions and interests that you have, your health, your wellness, your relationships as a whole, instead of just this one relationship that you are trying to create or manifest? And the final card to close out the reading is this Five of Cups, and it says disappointment on it. And let me grab the correct... I use an online guidebook for this. This is a Thoth Tarot, and I use the thothreadings.com as the guidebook for this. And we are looking at the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups stands for an emotional crisis. It might be that unconscious fears come true. It could tell that feelings are disrupted or wasting away. The soul is empty and unfulfilled. In the sequence of the cups, the 5 is the logical consequence of the 4. The gray that was lurking behind the luxury's glamour is now exposed. The truth is now out. The 5 of Cups can suggest you are stuck in the past and can't let go. Old wounds and bitter memories fill your mind as you think about what happened. You may blame yourself or believe you're a victim of life's circumstances. These negative emotions are holding you back from your fullest potential. Release them so you can move on and create positive change. The 5 of Cups also implies the loss of illusion, the realization of deception. It hurts, but is necessary when we don't want to spend the rest of our lives with our heads in the sand. To put it plain, we have to learn how to crawl before we can learn to walk. It's important to realize that whilst our disappointments often come from outside sources, the reason that we experience them is because of internal beliefs and expectations. We are disappointed when the company refuses to offer us that job we wanted and hoped for so much. We are disappointed when friends, lovers, family let us down and fail to treat us in a fashion we had believed they should. We are disappointed when something does not work out the way we had hoped. Yet we cannot go through life without expectations, and we cannot protect ourselves by holding negative expectations. Hope is a fighter. No matter how much we try to squash it down, it pops back up again. So perhaps we simply have to be brave enough to hope, honest enough to assess our expectations realistically, and courageous enough to accept that sometimes, no matter how hard we try, we are going to be hurt by disappointment. Maybe we have to make the choice to risk ourselves and accept that. Sometimes we will get let down. On a day that is ruled by the 5 of Cups, don't go looking for disappointment, but rather spend some time assessing your expectations. Look for imbalance or lack of realism in your expectations of people and situations. If you find any, then be true to yourself and adjust those expectations till they serve you better. Look for negative expectations. Nothing good ever happens to me. I'm always going to be lonely, miserable, unhappy. I am too weak, inadequate, uninformed to achieve what I need. And tackle these with gusto, for they create darkness in your life and serve no earthly purpose. Drive them out of your head with determined use of the affirmation and agree to go after them every single time they surface. The drive of this card is disillusion, pain, loss, and sadness. The light is sobering realization, separation as a consequence. The shadow is bitterness, emptiness, treachery, deceit, and detraction. Reverse, this card can indicate encouraging you to forgive yourself and move on. Know that you did the best you could. The keywords here are Mars in Scorpio, unfulfilled hopes, lost sense of balance, problematic relationships, and old wounds. The advice is either some of your overambitious hopes have collapsed, or your fear of disappointment lies deep within you. It is time to learn the lesson. The questions you want to ask yourself are, in what areas of your life do you fear disappointment? What have you learned from the disappointments that you have experienced so far? and how can you prevent disappointment? The suggestion is draw one card for each of the above questions. The revelation is by seeing where I trick myself, where I deny my inner voice, I begin to know my own inner reality. And the affirmation is I expect happiness to flow through my life, driving out negative thoughts and emotions. So I will go and answer these questions. In what areas of your life do you fear disappointment? What have you learned from the disappointment? And how can you prevent disappointment? And I will post that for my members, my subscribers over on passes.com. So if you want deeper insight into those 5 questions, look for that. I will get that done sometime this week. I'm going to put this card out so I remember to do that. But thank you so much for being here with me today. It's 12:21 as I finish, of course. I will see you all probably on Friday for the Friday love reading, and hopefully Sunday for a general week ahead reading, which I just didn't have the energy to do. We are still going through the process of clearing out and preparing my grandmother's house to be sold and my uncle's things, going through all of those things, and it's just very draining, and I just didn't have the energy and the heart really to be able to do a long week ahead reading for you this week. So hopefully I will be back on that this coming Sunday, but look for me on Friday with the Friday love reading, and have a good rest of your week.